Medallia does a lot of things very well, but fundamentally what it does exceptionally well is connect hospitality businesses and other businesses directly with the voice of their customer. It captures that feedback in a lot of different ways, and that's something that is a powerful Medallia differentiator. Foundationally, it's often a survey, but it also can be social media data, chat transcripts. You can get those surveys out in other ways. And even now thinking about, okay, where else can we bring data into the platform? So emails, we have one client who's bringing in their incident report logs, anywhere where there is feedback about your guest, your customer experience, you can bring that in. And then what it does really well is it transforms that feedback into something that is actionable and delivered in real time to executives, but also to frontline employees. And the other thing that Medallia does really well is it scales. It is built for big, complex organizations, though it works for organizations of all sizes. There are clients within the Medallia ecosystem that have 50,000 plus users that are active in a given month, which is just astonishing. And you think about a company that's that size has a lot of moving parts. The managers might leave and come and go. The properties themselves might leave and come and go. And Medallia can keep up with that at scale. And fundamentally, though, as well, it turns all of that data into a single unified view that really turns feedback into a competitive advantage for those businesses. We recommend that our clients try to make Medallia a part of their everyday operations. Because it is a real-time tool, it allows the platform to flag issues before they escalate. It allows you to spot patterns before they blow up into something larger. In some cases, at a hotel or hospitality property, it might even allow you to capture a guest who is a detractor or unhappy before they leave the property, which is really powerful. And it also uses this concept of role-based reporting. And so what that means is that if you are an executive, or if you're a general manager, or if you're a front desk manager, you see the data in a different way. What's relevant to that front desk manager is very different than what's relevant to the corporate vice president of marketing. And Medallia tailors the reporting based on that. And so it builds at all levels of this organization or these organizations, it builds a daily kind of cadence of, okay, we look at the feedback, we take action, and then we improve. Most of our organizations that we work with, even though it's old school, some people will say they still focus a lot on the good old Net Promoter Score. And we have seen organizations see double-digit improvements in their Net Promoter Score since starting CX program with Medallia. We've also seen big organizations that have used some of Medallia's tools to measure other things that indicate to them engagement and satisfaction from their customers. So Best Western used a tool to funnel guests that took a survey to TripAdvisor, and they saw a 76% increase in TripAdvisor reviews, which then shot all of their properties up to the top of those local rankings. Another big brand, Choice Hotels, they saw a 7-figure revenue increase after starting their platform on Medallia in tandem with all of their ratings improving. And what those show me is that there is a pattern here, that if you have feedback as a part of your daily workflows all across the organization, not only will your scores, your metrics improve, but your financial outcomes will as well. An example that comes to mind, I'll preface by saying is a little bit delayed, but I think it's worth sharing how Medallia can be impactful. And that goes back to the pandemic. And we had a client who understandably turned off their CX program and was not, and also the doors of the hotel closed as well. So the operation changed completely. And when they reopened, they actually started their Medallia program. And what they saw initially is that it was able to give them data that they wouldn't be able to find out any way else about what their customers were prioritizing in this new landscape. And then it was also able to then help them shape a reopening plan and tailor the experience to this kind of new world that we were living in. And what they saw amazingly is that their net promoter score after reopening and in the pandemic was actually 16 points higher than before. And that might be a bit of an old school example, but I think it shows that listening and then acting can really turn into a win. And there are a lot of organizations out there who aren't doing that. And that's really what Medallia fundamentally is about, is you listen, you act, you improve, and as a result, improvements in both metrics and financial outcomes.